Namaskar, Assalamu alaikum, Sat Shri Akal, and a very warm welcome to one and all. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of Meet My Gems, where eminent individuals from the field of law interact with budding law students. Meet My Gems is the brainchild of Dr. Prem Kumar Agarwal. Through these motivational and inspirational interviews, Dr. Agarwal brings before us some great individual who through absolute hard work and dedication has created a position for themselves in the field of legal services. Dr. Prem Kumar Agarwal is one of the best teachers the legal field could ever have. It is my absolute privilege that I had got an opportunity to learn from him. Dr. Agarwal has inspired and guided numerous students across the globe. It is through his motivation and support many of us has found the path to success. Dr. Agarwal himself was an aspirant of West Bengal Judicial Service Examination in the year 1999, and he secured a top rank in the examination. Yet he chose the noble profession of teaching to inspire and motivate the future generation to understand and love the law of our land. He is currently the HOD of Postgraduate Department of Law, Hooghly Mohsin College. Formerly, he has also served as a founding faculty of West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences, Calcutta. He is also the visiting faculty of National Judicial Academy of the Honorable Supreme Court of India and State Judicial Academy of the Honorable High Court at Calcutta. Students from all spectrum of life have received the support and guidance from Dr. Agarwal, and this has helped them become prosperous and affluent individuals in the field of law. Sir, with a warm heart, I request you to enlighten us on the objective of arranging these helpful interactive sessions.
Thank you, Moshumi. Good morning. Good morning, Samim. Welcome.
Good morning
to this episode of Meet My Gems. As I promised in the first episode of Meet My Gems, that we will showcase the success stories of my gems, the brilliant students of law, in both the bar and the bench and in various other capacities. So today we will showcase the success story of Firdous Samim, one of my brightest gems in the profession of advocacy. A profession which very few choose after becoming law graduates. On an average, from my experience, I have found that on an average, 5 out of 1,000 law students go for the profession out of passion. Obviously, there is a lot of uncertainty and lot of hard work involved in it. But if one is passionate about something, one can achieve success. Advocacy is a profession which is the noblest of all professions, as we all know. But then of late, just like other professions, this profession is also, infected, I would rather say, by a very minuscule number of black ships, and which is often highlighted, and people get deviated not to come into this profession. So the brilliant minds like Samim, I'm sure, after today's interaction, will be attracted towards the bar and fight for justice for especially people who cannot afford, hefty fees of, successful or of the top shot advocates. Samim had always in his mind from his student days, I know him very closely, to serve pro bono people who are real victims of injustice. That's why he is one of my gems. Now we are eagerly waiting through the inquisitive questions of Moshumi to listen to the conversation with Samim, in which he will open his heart and mind out. You may proceed, Moshumi, now.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to welcome learned advocate of the Calcutta High Court, Mr. Firdous Samim. Firdous Samim is a very common name in the mouth of several households in West Bengal, due to his contribution in the field of education and service-related litigation in the High Court at Calcutta. Mr. Samim also has several remarkable cases under his name that was brought before the High Court at Calcutta. Sir, we are delighted to have you with us today, and with your permission, on behalf of aspiring lawyers, I would like to begin our interview with my first question. So what inspired you to choose this profession?
The magnanimity of this profession inspired me to choose this profession. Basically, I came from very humble middle class family. As I was good in studies, other parents, like other parents, my parents also wanted to be that I would become a doctor, and I even ranked in joint entrance, West Bengal joint entrance examination, and would get a dental seat. But I don't want to pursue that. Thereafter, I choose this law profession, and after joining in law school, I really found my passion. I really found my after joining, I found my passion. It's not only for me. It's not only a profession. It's a passion for me, because through this profession, I can work for marginal class people. I can work for downtrodden people. So it's really an attractive profession for me, and that's a driving force towards this profession. That was the driving force.
So your journey is very inspiring, and as it inspires me, I guess it will inspire a lot of students across the globe who are going to watch you.
Thank you.
Are you a first generation lawyer, sir? Or did you have anyone at home?
Yes. I'm a first generation lawyer. Yeah, I'm a first generation. No one from my family is a lawyer. My father is a teacher. So no one. I am a first generation lawyer, undoubtedly.
Sir, how did you gather the courage to choose the practice of law as a career, especially when you didn't have someone in the profession from before?
Because I thought the advocacy is a noble profession, and first of all, it's an independent profession. I'm not that type of person who is very comfortable from 10 to 5 job. That is not my forte. So I found I want to do something independently, and the advocacy is such a profession, and such a noble profession. So I want to pursue this my career with law. That's why I choose law.
So what challenges did you face as a young advocate, and how did you overcome the obstacles?
There are lots of challenges. Every lawyer faces lots of challenges, whether it's first generation lawyer or anyone or others. Everyone have faced the challenges. I have also faced lots of challenges. The first challenges face that is guidance. No one, no one in this profession, so lack of guidance is the first challenge. So you have to overcome the first challenge of guidance. There are skill, knowledge, which is very essential. The law library, which is very essential for a lawyer, law books. Because if you are a first generation lawyer, if have not any law library, so it's a biggest challenge. I think so.
So which practice is more favorable, practicing in a firm or practicing independently?
Both are good. It depends upon the person who wants to practice. Both are good. Both have some advantage as well as some disadvantage. So it depends upon the person who want to practice. There are some merits as well as demerits of individual practice as well as firm practice. It depends upon the person who want to pursue the career. But it depends upon the person. Completely depends upon the person who want to practice.
So why did you choose High Court over trial courts?
Because I want to practice in the field of constitutional law. So that's why I choose the High Court, because High Court is a constitutional court, and a constitutional right. Aggrieved person who came to the High Court, who constitutionally aggrieved person. So I want to practice in the field of constitution. That's why I choose High Court.
Sir, according to you, what is the difference between courtroom and classroom? I know this might sound a bit childish, but what is the difference between courtroom and classroom?
No. That is not a childish one. I think classroom is a foundation of, especially law classroom, is a foundation of courtroom. If you are good in studies, law studies, then it will help you in career. So classroom is very much essential. Good classroom is very much essential to be good in courtroom. So if your base is strong, then you will be good in the courtroom. It's my feelings. In I can say that if you do any wrong, you will be punished in classroom, but if you do any wrong in courtroom, your client will be punished for that. Okay, but it's a witty way. But if you are good in classroom, then you ought to be good in courtroom. So your foundation must be strong. Your foundation must be strong. Otherwise, it's not possible to be good in courtroom. It's my feelings. Might be there are other feelings also, but it's my feelings that classroom is the foundation of courtroom, especially law classroom.
So, what are the skills one should try to develop if she or he wants to be an independent practicing lawyer?
There is no shortcut formula or straight jacket formula. There are lots of skill. Laws you can say a law skill. You have to be a managerial skill. Time you have to be time management and others. Always be self improvement skill is very much essential to be good in the in this profession. And there are lots of self inflicting pain in this profession. So you have to be so adaptive in each and every time. You have to be adaptive, and you have to be a managerial skill, which is very essential in this nowadays, because there are lots of challenges every time, because law profession is itself a dynamic profession. Each and every time the sphere the sphere of the law changes, so you have to be dynamic. That's very much essential for a law student, for a lawyer, and a lawyer is always a student of law. So you have to be passionate about the profession. You have to be skillful. You, your adaptability skill ought to be good. Otherwise, you can't survive in this profession.
Sir, many law students during their time as in LLB, they like to go into internship. Could you suggest young law students how to manage their education with internship, and what would be your advice for such law students who decide to practice law?
I think internship is the first step towards the practical field of law. So you have to choose a good chamber, and that will give you enough opportunity for internship. So for me, internship is the first step of law practice. So if you choose a good chamber, it will help you a lot.
Thank you, sir. Do you consider a mentor is indispensable during your LLB course for effective motivation? And who was your mentor during your LLB course?
Yes. Mentor is very much essential. Undoubtedly, Dr. Prem Agarwal was my mentor, and his encouraging word, his oratory skill, his knowledge about law, is really was very much helpful for me to choose this profession, to run the profession. And still, whenever I feel anything bad or any problem, I just ring him and take suggestion. And he's really an encourageable man. He's really encourageable. He is my mentor, no doubt about it. And another one is SNM sir, Shoshinath Mondal sir,
Yes,
KM
yes.
sir and SNM sir, and both. And he is a fantastic man. He is a fantastic man.
Okay. Sir, how should a young law student motivate himself or herself to pursue practice? Like, how should we get ready before getting into the field?
I think there is no. I told you earlier that there is no straight jacket formula. I think the dedication, determination, hard work, rather smart work is very much essential. Uh, so if anyone pursue this career, obviously came and hard work and determination can do anything.
Sir, what sort of attitude or approach should an advocate have towards his or her clients and towards the honorable court and honorable judges?
I Due to the fiduciary relation between client and advocate, he always maintain a good relation with his client. I would rather say there must be a cordial and confidential relation between the client and advocate. And an advocate ought to be a sober and gentleman. It's a gentleman profession. It's my feeling is that it's a gentleman profession. Uh, Whenever you places your case before the court, you have to be firm but polite. You have to be sober and you have to be truthful. Although you place your case, but first thing you remember that you are the officer of the court. So be polite, be sober, and firmly place your case. That's my advice for young lawyer.
Sir, unlike you, it is very often seen that best students of law colleges avoid going into practice. Could you tell us why?
No. That is not today's. That is not a today's scenario. Earlier days, the best student came to this profession, but somehow this profession lost its charm. But nowadays, a good amount of good student came to this profession. A good amount of good student came to this profession, like you. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, does there still exist discrimination between the genders in the field of practice?
Yes. I feel so. It's a part of the society. In every strata of the society, there is inequality. So in law field, there is also inequality. I can't ignore it that there is no such inequality. In bar as well as in bench, there is still inequality in number. So I feel so. So, but situation is improving now. Situation is improving now. A good number of young energetic lawyer they came, and situation is improving now. It's my feeling.
Sir, according to you, how can we empower more women to enter the field of practice?
Bar ought to be the more women friendly. That's the reason, and the society's views also is a greatest hindrance for this inequality. And now we improving it. That's my feelings. We improving it.
So tell us about the importance of pro bono legal work with respect to a needy person seeking justice. As I am aware, you do a lot of pro bono work, and I have also got help from you. So that is why I think you should. I want the rest of the law students who are watching you to know what are the importance of pro bono legal work.
In the field of environmental law, in the field of labor law, there are lots of contribution of pro bono work. So an advocate ought to do some pro bono work. Otherwise, the society can't survive. The greatest contribution to survive the society is an advocate's role. We remember in the role of in the field of environmental law, there are greatest role of advocates who themselves engage in the field of pro bono work. That's why today's labor law evolved. That's why today's environmental law evolved. So lawyers have greatest contribution to evolving the environmental law, the educational law, right to information rather. First, it is came as a pro bono matter. Thereafter, legislative adopted it, and then this legislation came. So there are lots of contribution of pro bono work.
Thank you, sir. Sir, due to the pandemic, online courts have begun. Do you think this online mode of litigation is good for the judiciary as a whole?
No, I don't feel so. It's not a substitute of physical hearing. I don't feel so. Yes, for the time being, it is useful, but I don't think so. It's a substitute of physical hearing. We ought to return back in physical hearing. Otherwise, because of that, the body language, which is very essential for adjudication, very very essential.
Yes.
I think this is not a substitution of physical form of hearing. I don't think so.
Sir, do you think the pandemic will adversely affect the judicial system in any way?
Yes. it adversely affect the judiciary, and for this reason, we have to adopt the physical form of hearing as soon as possible. Otherwise, the nation can't survive. It's my feeling. It might be. It seems to that it's an exaggeration, but if we don't adopt the physical form of hearing, with the full strength of the judiciary is very much necessary now. Nowadays, is very much necessary.
So do you think online court system has become the new normal in India?
No. I don't feel. I don't feel so. I don't feel so. It ought not to be substitution of physical form of hearing. Ought not to be.
Sir, if you could, in detail explain to us the advantages and disadvantages of online court system.
Advantage is for time being it's a useful. I told you earlier. For time being it's a useful. I just give an example. I appeared in a matter for school authority, and due to video conferencing, I placed my cases. But at that point of time, the court system was muted. When I placed my case, the online system was muted. Later on, unmuted. So what I place, it seems to the court something else, but actual scenario was something else. And whenever I came to very next day, I appeared in physical form and judges tell me, তুমি তো এটা গতকাল বললেই পারতে, আমি এত হার্শ হতাম না। বাট আই টোল্ড দ্যাট ইয়েস আমি গতকাল তো বলেছি। তারপরে উনি ফিল করলেন যে হোয়াটস দ্য প্রবলেম ইজ লাইজ অন ইট। সো আই থিঙ্ক দ্যাটস প্রবলেম লাইজ ইন অনলাইন সিস্টেম অলসো। So it's the greatest disadvantage. I think I feel so. Online system is not a substitution of physical form of hearing.
Thank you, sir, for letting us know the difficulties faced in online judicial system. So, sir, according to you, which section of the judicial system is mostly affected due to the online mode of litigation?
Who are not gadget friendly. That advocates gadget friendly. That's advocate affects a lot. It is a problem for them. It's a problem for them who are not gadget friendly.
Thank you, sir. Sir, do you think the young generation is more at an advantageous position when it comes to online court system?
yes. That's true. That's true. Young, because they are gadget friendly generation, so they are good in video conferencing mode. They are good in e-filing. They are good in searching the case law. So it's an advantage for young generation lawyer. But there are lots of disadvantage because physical form of hearing, the physical demo is very much essential for administration of justice. I think it ought not to be substitution of physical form of hearing, the online form of hearing.
So what's your view on criticism towards judgments and judiciary with respect to reasonable restriction of freedom of speech and expression?
Here criticism is necessary. If you not scandalize the judicial system, if you not lawyering the authority of judicial system, if you want to criticize in fair manner, it is helpful for judicial system. I feel so. If you not interfere with judicial process, the fair criticism is essential to be a fair. So it is essential. And freedom of speech and expression, that's also some limitation. You have to make balance between two. And our constitution is very much balanced instrument for everyone.
Sir, it is mandatory for a lawyer to speak for his client. But what happens when the client's views do not match with that of the lawyers?
That's why it's an independent profession. You can you can release yourself from the brief. If your view is not matched with your client, you're
Okay.
retiring from your brief. It's an
Thank you,
independent
sir.
profession.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So could you tell us about some challenging moments in your career and some interesting experiences that you have come across as a practicing lawyer?
Each and every day I face challenges, and each and every day I have to cross my challenges. So I, there are lots of time I feel that yes, I need some guidance. Whenever I feel that I need some guidance, uh, I am lucky enough. I got the guidance from Dr. Prem Agarwal. I got guidance from one of my pioneer in this profession, that is Vikas Ranjan Bhattacharya. He is my guru in this profession, and I got a lot of help from him. I'm fortunate enough I got help from him. I and others. I got guidance from other also, and I'm fortunate enough. If I feel so, I got the guidance of this stalwart.
Sir, in brief, could you just give us the merits and demerits or advantages and disadvantages of practicing law?
There are no such demerits. There are
No
lots of
demerits, okay, sir.
no. There are lots of challenges.
Yes.
You have to face that challenge, but there are no such demerits. I don't feel so.
Okay, sir. So what will be your final advice to the law students and young budding lawyers who aspire to make a career in litigation?
Hard work, dedication, determination, smart work, self improvement skill, time management, which is very much essential in this profession. So go for that and join the profession.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sure, the depth and detailed discussion about the practice of law in this episode will inspire uncountable number of students across the globe. Thank you, Mr. Firdous Samim, for joining us today and making this session a memorable one. Dr. Prem Kumar Agarwal, sir, please share with us your views on today's interview. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, so the lively and interactive conversation between Advocate Firdous Samim, and aspiring to be an advocate Moshumi clearly revealed that advocacy is really a profession of learning, unlearning, and relearning. That's why it is the only profession of the world which is prefixed with the word learned. And managerial personnel all across the globe have coined a sentence that you earn while you learn, that is best fitted perhaps for the profession of advocacy. So thank you, Firdous Samim, for coming and sharing your heart and mind out for the benefit of the law students aspiring to be advocates and lawyers. And Moshumi, thank you for your insightful questions, which will go a long way in motivating youngsters, young law students, to become practicing advocates, and advocates like the ones who led India to freedom struggle, that was freedom from political subjugation. Now this will be a freedom from poverty.
I would once again want to thank our respected and beloved sir, Dr. Prem Kumar Agarwal, on behalf of all the law students, budding advocates, and young lawyers for giving us such an opportunity to interact with this precious gem like learned advocate Firdous Samim. Dr. Agarwal, sir, we the students who have benefited so much from you due to your constant guidance and support, thank you for being this amazing person who always makes an extra effort to solve all the law-related queries of the students. Last but not the least, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get more motivational videos. Thank you.